Day 276 of the Daily Stoic, the most valuable asset. Quote, "But the wise person can lose nothing. Such a person has everything stored up for themselves, leaving nothing to fortune. Their own goods are held firm, bound in virtue, which requires nothing from chance, and therefore can't either increase or diminish." Seneca on the Firmness of the Wise, 5.4. Some people put their money in assets, stocks, bonds, property. Others invest in relationships or accomplishments, knowing that they can draw on these things just as easily as others can draw funds from a bank account. But a third type, Seneca says, invests in themselves, in being a good and wise person. Which of these assets is the most immune to market fluctuations and disasters? Which is most resilient in the face of trials and tribulations? Which will never abandon you? Seneca's own life is an interesting example. He became quite wealthy as a friend of the emperor, but as Nero became more and more deranged, Seneca realized he needed to get out. He offered Nero a deal. He would give Nero all his money and return all of Nero's gifts in exchange for complete and total freedom. Ultimately, Nero rejected this offer, but Seneca left anyway, retiring in relative peace. But one day, the executioners came with their mortal decree. In that moment, what did Seneca rely on? It wasn't his money. It wasn't his friends, who, although they meant well, were a considerable source of grief and mourning. It was his virtue and inner strength. It was Seneca's most trying moment, his last, and his finest. I can wholeheartedly agree 100% with this chapter. The most valuable asset is you and your life and your time on this earth. While I would find it to be wise to invest in assets like stocks and bonds and property and these types of things, and certainly invest in relationships that actually matter, they are correct. The best investment that you can make in this life, the one life that you got, the best investment in life is in yourself. Period. Full stop. Why stop? I mean, we actually don't stop growing from a physiological standpoint. And from a mental standpoint, we actually don't stop growing from a mental standpoint. I think we just end up filling up most of our minds with crap and things that don't matter. But how wonderful would it be to take the two things you can control, your mind, really, that's about it, which forces the body, but the mind and the body, and spend your entire life leveling that system up, like feeding it right, taking care of it, exercising it, stretching it, challenging it, maybe even breaking it. But you'll find that you can come back from it all, and you'll find that investment in self, I mean, why would you want to invest in anyone else? Well, you might have wife and kids, for sure. You invest in them, in your relationship with them, and nurture them and all that good jazz, for sure. But let's be honest, at the end of the day, the best investment is numero uno, guys. See you in Discord, MetaFam.